Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling. The chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Patent pocket. Take the dollar, dollar. Can a damn soul stop it?
Here comes the new kid on the block. Hold on your bets. Here's where the buck stops. See, first of all, I'm stepping out on my own. About time I elevated to claim my own throne. Success in my blood, call it homegrown. Puerto Rican testosterone. Power and money got me crazy cocky. No longer need you, poppy. I know you're mad because you can't stop me. And if you wonder how this player done scooped your honey, I think she smell my cologne. It's called brand new money. Making major moves, making a damn thing funny. Pimpin' hood rats to playboy bunnies. They see the... They see it, they see it.
Say what? Money. I'm global dollar, dollar, and roll without 50. Like to go out smelling fresh and looking spiffy. Don't like clean money, I want my wrist to be filthy. Plus with that retirement fund, I can't touch till I'm 60. So what am I supposed to do? Roll and do. Steady patting them pockets, sell them, stacking, holding two. Ching, ching, bling, bling.
Hello, WWE fans, and welcome to the results show for the Money in the Bank 2016 pay-per-view event, which took place last night and was probably considered to be one of the best Money in the Bank pay-per-views in history because of the fact that we have a dream match, we have some weird, some crazy lunatic stuff that happened during this event that will certainly surprise the hell out of some of you, the way they played out this event. So without further ado, let's look at some of the results then and see how the results played out in this year's Money in the Bank. So kicking off with the first two matches, which are the kickoff matches, we're starting with the Golden Truth, which is R-Truth and Goldust, versus Breeze Dango, which is Tyler Breeze and Fandango. And of course, Golden Truth were able to pick up a victory during the kickoff show, and obviously this shows that R-Truth and Goldust are certainly making a very interesting team. Whether they'll get to the tag team titles at some point is going to be another story. We'll certainly be looking forward to learning more about how Goldust and R-Truth are going to work as a team. How will they progress to the tag team championship? Will they ever win the tag titles? Hopefully, we'll see soon. But Tyler Breeze Dango, which is of course Tyler Breeze and Fandango. Yeah, again another performance from Fandango and the crew, and they'll eventually get momentum. Eventually, I guess. But yeah, good tag team to start the kickoff show. And then of course we have the return of the Dudley Boys versus the Lucha Dragons. As of course we haven't seen the Dudleys on TV for quite some time, so. This was an opportunity for the Luchas to prove their styles against the leaders of the tables, the Dudleys. And, of course, Lucha Dragons were able to high-fly their way to victory by defeating Bob Ray and Devon and securing a victory during the final kickoff match of Money in the Bank. And this was certainly a really nice, quick victory for them. I'm quite surprised that Sin Cara hasn't turned his back on Kalisto yet, because there were rumors not like back around WrestleMania time that they were leading towards a split up between the Lucha Dragons, but it seems the Lucha Dragons are still intact and they're obviously determined to go back into the tag team championship hunt, which you never know, it might very well happen soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing where the tag team division is going to go from here. And who knows, maybe the tag team division will look better in the coming months. Who knows? So let's focus on the main matches of the show. And we're kicking things off with the Fatal 4-Way WWE Tag Team Championships. The New Day, Enzo Amore, Big Cass, The Club, and the Varvelans, all battling for the tag team championships, and as always, the New Day managed to overcome the odds, having to face three different teams, a very dangerous team in the Club, obviously one of their rivals, the Varvelans, and what they consider to be one of their allies, Enzo Amore and Big Cass, who are looking to be tag team champions at this point. And yep, the New Day were managed to pick up a victory in this Fatal 4-Way and managed to keep their tag titles alive. And when will their tag team title reign end? I don't know, but hopefully, we'll see where they're going to end up, because eventually there's been talks about the New Day splitting up, especially because of the fact that the brand split is coming up. So obviously the New Day could easily split up at this point, and I wouldn't be too surprised if they split up on Raw, because of the fact that, you know, some superstars are going to stay on Raw, some superstars are going to go to SmackDown, because by the next pay-per-view, we're going to have superstars from Raw, superstars from SmackDown, if you get where I'm going with this. So, yeah, it wouldn't be too long until the New Day probably splits up and we end up getting probably new tag champions in the process. But then we move on to another singles match, which is, of course, Brian Corbin once again facing Dolph Ziggler, and he manages to pick up another victory over Dolph Ziggler, proving his strength and actually getting revenge on Dolph Ziggler for trying to attack him a few weeks ago on SmackDown. And now Brian Corbin certainly is showing his powerhouse abilities. So it'll be interesting to see who comes forward against the Lowly Wolf next. We'll certainly be looking forward to seeing what Brian Corbin's next rival is going to be. And then we have a a women's tag match, which obviously the women's are now known as the Superstars, not Divas. So we have the women's champion Charlotte along with Danny Brooks versus Natalya and Becky Lynch. And of course, with the thanks to Danny Brooks trying to shove Becky right in front of Natalya after Natalya was in an attempt to submit Charlotte, it turns out that Danny Brooks and Charlotte managed to win. But it was at the end of the match, which kind of surprised quite a few people, was the fact that Natalya turned her back on Becky Lynch and kind of attacked her right at the end of the match. Now, I don't know what this is leading up to, but it seems to be hinting towards a Natalya-Becky Lynch match, which I wouldn't be too surprised if this is the way they're going. But you never know. We could see a match here where Natalya will face Becky Lynch for an opportunity at the women's title, perhaps. Maybe that's where they're going. Or maybe this is going to lead, now that Becky Lynch has got Natalya to deal with, perhaps Sasha Banks is going to show up to try and calm these guys down, or maybe she'll go after the women's champion. Perhaps this is the golden opportunity for Sasha Banks to come back into the title hunt. Who knows? And then, of course, another singles match. Apollo Crews makes his pay-per-view debut against Sheamus, and he manages to pick up a win against Sheamus, and that was a big win for him, because he says that is his biggest win of his career, and he's certainly getting the fans hooked to him, and it'll be interesting to see where Apollo Crews goes from here, and you know what is his next goal heading into, you know, on the road to SummerSlam. Where does he go from here, and which brand is he going to be supporting? Is he going to be a SmackDown guy? Is he going to be a Raw guy after this point? Who knows? I think there's a good chance he could be a Raw guy, and then again, he could very well be a SmackDown guy at some point. But I think Raw is a good way for him to start, and then eventually get to SmackDown maybe a year from now, and then we'll see where they progress with it. And then, of course, the dream match that everybody was talking about, the John Cena AJ Styles match, because, of course, this is John Cena's first pay-per-view return. You know, ever since these two, like I said, ever since John Cena showed up at WrestleMania to help The Rock put out the Wyatt family, this is his first proper match back. And shockingly enough, again, the club are once again in the face of John Cena and aiding AJ Styles to victory, which would lead, as like I said, AJ Styles would pick up the win because of this. And hopefully this is going to lead to a rematch for the Battleground pay-per-view. Now, of course, this now brings up a little talk now of where does John Cena go? Does he stay on Raw? Does he join SmackDown? And is AJ Styles going to stay on Raw? Is he going to go to SmackDown now? Who knows where these two are going to end up? But there is obviously no doubt that these two will meet again at Battleground. No question about it. So we certainly could be on the hunt for another match between these two. certainly seems likely heading towards heading towards Battleground, and particularly tonight on Raw. It wouldn't be too surprised if tonight on Raw we get the announcement that AJ Styles meets John Cena again. You know, wouldn't be too surprised. Anyway, of course, the next match, we all know what the next match was going to be. It's the Money in the Bank ladder match, the traditional one. We all know how Money in the Bank works. We've all learned it for the last few years, and basically the whole process of this match, you go after that briefcase by using a ladder, and of course, we have Cesaro, Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Alberto Del Rio, and of course Dean Ambrose all battling for this briefcase, and this would lead to finally, after 2 years, we finally get to see Dean Ambrose hold the Money in the Bank briefcase for the first time in his career. He finally wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. He wins the ladder match. So this gives him a guaranteed World's Heavyweight title match anytime he chooses. So obviously big stuff for Dean Ambrose going forward for him. But then, of course, this would lead to the United States Championship, where we would have Rusev versus Tyrus O'Neil. And unfortunately for Tyrus O'Neil, he was unable to defeat Rusev, as Rusev had basically humiliated Tyrus O'Neil in front of his sons. And as always, Rusev is showing his dominance as the current United States champion, or two-time United States champion, I would say. But there is no doubt that these two are probably going to meet again, and will probably be on the way, could be on the merge of a Tyrus O'Neil title win at some point. So it won't be long, guys, until Tyrus O'Neil holds gold around his waist. And don't worry about it. He'll eventually get it. And then, of course, this is it. The main event match, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, WWE World's title match. This is another match that fans were looking forward to, because, of course, this was Seth Rollins' pay-per-view return, as this was the very event where he defeated Dean Ambrose in a ladder match last year. But, of course, ever since he was injured, all he could think about was winning back the WWE World's Heavyweight Championship. So, going into this match against one of his former Shield brothers, Roman Reigns, you know it wasn't going to be an easy challenge. But however, Seth Rollins, to kind of surprise the hell out of us, he manages to defeat Roman Reigns like 1, 2, 3 right on the mat. He actually pins Roman Reigns and shocks the world by actually winning the championship back. But he wasn't going to leave that easy. Oh no, he wasn't going to leave that easy, because where does things go from here? Well, it kind of shocks the hell out of people, because guess who shows up out of nowhere? Dean Ambrose comes out, gets his briefcase, smacks it right on the face of Seth Rollins, cashes it in, hits dirty deeds on Seth Rollins, and he becomes WWE World's Heavyweight Champion, something that he thought he actually won at the Elimination Chamber last year. And all of a sudden now he's holding the championship. And I was like, this turned into a Shield triple threat match all of a sudden, which in fact, although that was not the case, we're leading towards a Dean Ambrose. We've now led ourselves into a Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins situation where all three of them are now potentially going to maybe face each other at Battleground now. So we're going to see all three members of the Shield in a triple threat. This is where it's leading to, because that's how I feel is what's going to happen here, because you pretty much have this situation now where Dean Ambrose basically promised Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns during Ambrose's Asylum, which was this past Monday on Raw, that he basically told them, look, I'm going to win Money in the Bank, and I don't care which one of you two holds the championship, I'm going to eventually cash in eventually. But the fact that he was bored of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins arguing, he basically decided, you know what, I'm not just going to wait till like SummerSlam to cash in. I'm going to cash in on the night. I'm going to surprise the hell out of the people. And he certainly did that. I mean, the fans were like literally stunned by the end of the night after seeing Dean Ambrose holding the championship after what Seth Rollins went through in the Roman Reigns battle, it was certainly a jaw-dropping moment for Money in the Bank, and it's certainly setting things up for what appears to be a Shield triple threat for the WWE World Heavyweight title. Seems to be hinting that way. So I wouldn't be too surprised. I wouldn't be too surprised if Dean Ambrose ends up having to face Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns in a triple threat. I wouldn't be too surprised because all these three men know each other so well. They were great as a tag, as a trio, and now it's turning out to be that these three men are all going to have the same. Well, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are going to have the same issue. Roman Reigns is going to be disappointed in Dean for stealing his moment, and then you got Seth Rollins who's going to be wanting to attack Dean Ambrose for what he did to him following his victory. I was just, wow. Absolutely shocking. I don't know what else to say, really, but that is a really cool way to end Money in the Bank. I have to say it was wow. Wow, what a moment. But however, though, where does this lead to WWE? Well, of course, Battleground is next, and as you can see from the poster art, yes, of course, John Cena is leading the way to Battleground as he is in the forefront of Battleground. He's waving a flag along with, and of course, there's a promotional video that just went out which shows John Cena, Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Big E from the New Day, Roman Reigns, Charlotte, and AJ Styles, along with Cena holding the flag to Battleground. Very interesting promotional there, but either way, Sunday, July 24th, that is the day that Battleground is going to take place, so there is no question John Cena is going to have AJ Styles to deal with, and then you have Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose battling for the WWE World title at some point, probably leading into this pay-per-view, and then of course you've got the New Day, who could potentially be splitting up, and this would lead to their title be their championship, them losing the tag team titles to a different team. So, like I said, I wouldn't be too surprised if we're leading ourselves to new. Like I said, if we're leading ourselves to brand new champions and stuff, because this is where it could potentially lead to, pretty much. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, for this Money in the Bank review, and of course I'll be looking forward to reviewing the Battleground next month, July 25th on the Monday. And until then, prepare yourselves for Battleground and prepare for the Ambrose Asylum, I think is the way to describe it. Anyway, until then, I'll see you all in my next WWE review. See you then.